Let me hear you say Crux, yeah! Crux, yeah! Let me hear you say Crux, yeah! Crux, yeah! Crux, yeah podcast.
Crux Crawford.
Crux, yeah, what is up? It's just me again this week, but hey, don't turn it off. Don't go away. Give me a second to explain. Wait, I can explain all of this, okay? Man, Labor Day weekend, I am, believe it or not, supposed to get the door put on my office, and it's just been crazy with family stuff, and then the holiday weekend. I have just been going nonstop, haven't even had time to coordinate, have a guest on, but hey, man, I'm here. This is going to be coming out to you a little bit late on Tuesday night, but it still makes the mark. I still hit the release schedule. And yeah, man, you know, all to keep it on that schedule and keep bringing you updates for all of you that listen to me. It's a small group right now, but we're going to keep growing Crux Nation, man. And that's why I cannot skip a week of doing this, man. So I'm here. I have some cool updates for you. And let me just set my timer. Yeah. So anyway, I do have some updates. First of all, on the We Are the Flesh, on the music tip of things, it's been very cool. Record-breaking numbers this week, which is cool, man, because it kind of came out of the blue. I was actually just talking to Andre about it last night. It is, it's pretty crazy, man. You know, over 200,000 streams in the last couple weeks. And that's the first time, man, just 200,000 streams. That's only on Spotify. That's not like YouTube. That's not Apple Music. That's not Amazon. That's not any of the other streaming services that we get traffic on for We Are the Flesh. So that's pretty cool, man, that, you know, things are blowing up on there that much. Daily numbers are definitely at a high, which is cool too. But yeah, man, that's awesome. We got Pull It Back is probably the track that's going to hit a mill first. It's going to hit 1 million streams on Spotify first. 3 tracks were racing towards the top, over 900K. But looks like Pull It Back's going to take it probably this week, honestly, because it's over 980K right now. So that's pretty cool, man. I just want to say thank you, all the We Are the Flesh listeners that support this podcast or, you know, support We Are the Flesh in general. That's fucking great. Thank you so much for that attention and loving our music and playing it over and over. Really appreciate it. But yeah, man, so that's been something cool that I've watched over the last week and over the holiday weekend. What did I do? I did some family stuff, you know, had a cool Labor Day, which one of the things that was kind of setting me off and setting me back. Just had some family stuff I had to do over the holiday weekend, like I said. So we went to the zoo, went to the Fort Worth Zoo. It was my first time there. It was pretty cool. And dude, what a sexy day at the zoo. Oh my God. It was filled with sexual energy, man. The zoo was, I've never seen a zoo that was that sex positive, man. I'll tell you, dude, it was fucking crazy. So first of all, there was a rhinoceros that was by itself. And all these families, all these kids were gathered around, and we walk up. I'm with my in-laws. I'm with my wife. I'm with my my soon-to-be 1-year-old this week. And dude, we pull up to the rhino area where it's outside, you know, the outside rhino area where the rhino is chilling, and it is straight up jacking itself off on the grass, dude. I didn't even know that's what it was doing. My wife actually told me that that's what they're doing, because she's a horse trainer, so she knows a lot of she's around horses all day long, so you know she knows a lot of different animal behaviors. And I guess that's what the male horses do when they masturbate, is they'll just rub themselves, like they'll rub their dicks against the grass back and forth, and that's kind of how they masturbate. Like that's how they get off. And so this rhino was doing the same thing, man. It was just standing there, giant fucking rhino dick just hanging out swinging back and forth. Families are watching, the little kids are watching. And we're just standing behind because obviously we're adults. You know, my kid is too young to even know what the hell's going on. He doesn't even care. He's just looking at the sky. And, you know, we're just standing around watching this. And then he starts doing that. He starts bending down and rubbing his dick against the grass. And I'm like, what's he doing? You know, and my wife's like, oh, he's like masturbating. He's jacking off. And I was like, no, like that can't be. I was like, that's how they do it. And she explained the whole thing to me. And I was like, holy shit. So we sat and I think I don't know if the funnier thing is that he was doing it or that we stood around and watched when we knew what he was doing. And also, furthermore, all the families standing around and watching with the kids. Now, maybe to be fair, maybe they were on my level. Maybe they didn't know what was going on. Like I had a horse trainer next to me that's around animals all day long. So she understood what was going on. But yeah, dude. So there was that. We watched the rhino jacking itself off on the grass. And then we walk around some more and go to the different exhibits and stuff. And we walk by these tortoise, like this tortoise area, right? We walked by it before and there was just one tortoise just hanging out, you know, trying to beat the heat, hanging out under the shade or under the tree in the shade. And then we walk back by it maybe like half an hour later because it was kind of in a central area where we're walking to all the other exhibits and stuff and trying to figure out what's going on. And this other tortoise is on now that, well, I don't know if it was the tortoise that was originally sitting there or it's two different tortoises or whatever the fuck, but either way, now there's two tortoise, I don't fucking know. Anyway, two fucking tortoises are sitting there. Well, not sitting there, but they were fucking getting it on. And the male tortoise is on top of who I assume is the female tortoise. I have no idea. But anyway, there's two tortoises getting it on. And the male tortoise is just on top, just like, arr, arr. Just fucking going to town, man. And then once again, dude, all these families, including us, are just sitting around laughing and watching this, dude. It's just so, like, I wonder if that registers in the tortoise head. Like, is that going, like, is like, oh, people are watching? Like, are they mad that people are watching or do they enjoy it? Does he get off on it knowing that these fucking people are sitting around watching him fuck? I don't know. But that's so fucking weird, dude. And unexpected. Maybe that was going on when I went to zoos when I was a kid. I don't remember anything like that. But it was weird going to the zoo like as a full-blown adult because I've been, I don't know, as an adult I've been to the zoo one or two times, but I feel like, I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention. This is the first time as a parent that I've gone to the zoo as an adult. And that's when it really registers, I think, because you're going there more for the kid, you know, so they can have an experience. Like, even though my kid won't remember shit about it because he didn't even really care. He doesn't know what's going on yet. He's too young. But, you know, we're still doing it for him to do something fun. You know, he will have a good time while he's there, whether the memories last or not. So we're doing something fun that we can do as a family. And it's just funny, dude. Like, when I remember I used to love going to the zoo when I was a kid. It was like the place you go to visit all the animals and, you know, have a good time, and you think like they're all happy to be there. And you go there as an adult and you're just like, this is a fucking animal prison. Like, it's just so weird. It's such a different experience. Cause like, you know, there's like I remember there was like there was a coyote in one of the exhibits. It was supposed to be like, you know, animals of the plains or like, you know, whatever. And this coyote was just pacing back and forth, man, like going up the little hill, going down the little hill, going up the little hill, going down the little hill, like, you know, back and forth to where the boundaries of the cage took him. And this lady next to us that was watching the coyote go back and forth was like, oh, he must be really anxious about something. It's like, no, he's fucking trapped in a cage. Like, he's just tired of being trapped in a cage, man. You know, it's obvious that he hates it. It's obvious that it's driving him crazy. You know, it's just funny how people just don't get it. Like, it doesn't register. It's like, no, he just fucking hates being in there. He's in an animal prison, you know? It's just so weird, dude. And I don't know. I always think it was funny too about the zoo because it was like, there's like exotic animals. Obviously, there was this cool giraffe feeding area, you know, where you can feed the giraffes lettuce and like you see them wander all around. Then obviously like the rhinoceros, like I said, you know, there's a hippopotamus, you know, there are tigers, all kinds of stuff. But then there's a section where there's just like local animals that you could see outside. Like, dude, I could catch a coyote if I wanted to wake up at 5 a.m. going through my trash. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to see it in the zoo. I feel like that's kind of a filler, you know, a filler section of the zoo. And, you know, it's just funny how you can see normal stuff. Like, it's like, hey, here's a dog, or here's a local, like, snake. It's like, dude, I could see that when I'm mowing my lawn, you know? It's just kind of funny how they throw those in there, you know, and whatever, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a fucking bitter motherfucker talking about that. But I don't know. I just thought it was kind of funny how they throw in some regular shit, too, when you're supposed to be going there to see animals that you don't normally see, like gorillas and lions and shit. But I guess they can't have, you know, they're trying to include everything for everybody. I don't know. I always think it's also funny when it's like, they're like, all the animals, like, you go by and they're like, oh, they're not active right now, or they're not here. It's like, maybe they just don't want you fucking staring at them. Maybe they just don't want a bunch of people gawking in their faces, like watching them live regular life. Maybe they're tired of that. Maybe that's why they're not around. I don't think it's just like, oh, they happen to not be there right now. I think it's more just maybe they don't want to fucking see a bunch of people looking at them. They go through that every day. I don't know. I wonder also how many of them are born, because my wife was talking about this. I wonder how many of them are born into captivity and it's all they know, so they don't mind, versus the ones that used to be in the wild and then now this is their home and they, you know, they know what life before they were in the zoo was like, and now it's driving them crazy. You know, who knows? But yeah, that was fun. That was cool. I was thinking, I don't know why this popped in my head, but I was thinking about how funny and ridiculous this was back when I was in college. That was right around the time that this movie Crash came out. I don't know if anyone has seen it, but it's it was like Matt Dillon, a bunch of different people, Don Cheadle, a lot of different good actors were in it. And it was like this movie that basically dealt with like race and like socioeconomic positions within like Los Angeles, in general, in American society, but it took place in Los Angeles. And there were a bunch, you know, there's like a racist cop. Matt Dillon played a racist cop. And then, you know, there were all kinds of different dynamics in there. There was like people that were rich and how they interact with poor people and all these different races. And I remember I was in a class. And this girl, the subject came up and she said she was in a different class where they watched a bunch of films that dealt with, I forget which class it was. It was some class where they watched a lot of different, it wasn't like a film study class. It wasn't like something where they studied cinema in general, but it was like they focused on certain issues in film that dealt with it, you know, came into play with, and anyway, whatever the fuck, I don't remember what class she was in, but the point is, she said that Crash, that movie, came up as a subject, and she said that because of the nature of the film and all the tension it caused, they all made a decision to not watch it. And I was like, when she said that, I remember going like, well, wait, so you haven't actually seen it then, right? And she's like, yeah, that's right. None of us have seen it. We all agreed not to watch it. I was like, so you're telling me that you know everything this film is about and everything you've heard that it covers or that you've read by somebody who published an article that's based on their opinion of it. You took in all that information and you decided to assume that it's something that you shouldn't watch. And not only you, but a bunch of other idiots made the decision to not watch it together because of things that you were told about it or that you read that were told to you by other people that have opinions on it. Like that's just so ridiculous. I even said, like, and I didn't want to push it, because I didn't want to make the whole thing awkward, but I was like, dude, you are so stupid. Like, I just can't imagine that being like, hey, don't watch this movie because of blah, 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 blah. And like read an article that says, oh, this movie sucks because it covers da, 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 and it's so inaccurate and it da, 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 causes all this tension. I want to see it. Okay. Whether I end up agreeing with that or not, I want to watch it. I want to decide for myself if that's actually how I feel. I want to watch something just to see if I agree with those people or not. I'm not saying those people are wrong. I'm not saying that their opinions are invalid. I'm just saying I want to watch something to make sure that, or not even to make sure, but just to see what I think. I don't want to listen to somebody or read something somebody said and just go like, oh, well, that's automatically my opinion too, even though I haven't actually seen it. Like that just that blew my mind, dude. And it made me realize that there are people out there that will do that. They'll just make a decision on something and decide, oh, like this is, well, it's not even like, unique. Now it's just reality, man. Now it's just a bunch of different news sources and a bunch of different people, especially with the age of the internet and especially how everything's instantly in our pockets, and anybody with an opinion that has enough followers can throw something out there and it just all of a sudden becomes kind of not fact, but it becomes widely believed, like, it's believable on a large scale, just because someone says it. That was like the first stage of that, I think, because back when this girl said that in this class that I was in with her, that was before there was really any big time social media. I mean, Facebook was in its infancy stages, Instagram, none of the other, like Twitter was infancy stages too. Nothing was how it was now. And it was pre everybody having a smartphone, it was right when that shit was starting. So, but I was just thinking about that today. I was like, dude, like I would never do that. I would never just make a decision on something. And I'm not saying, oh, because I'm so much better, I'm so much smarter or whatever. It's just, I don't think anybody should do that. I don't think that's a good idea in general. Just to have 3 different sources or a couple different people say like, oh yeah, this is bad or this is good, whatever. Even if it was good, like, hey, this is so great. People say that all the time. I want to decide for myself, dude. I almost like to do that, not just because I want to decide for myself, but I want to see where other people's heads are at too. Like I'll watch a video, YouTube video or whatever, and I'll look at comments for fun sometimes, not to like talk shit or I don't like to look at like negative comments necessarily or hater comments. I like to look at the comments because I want to see, sometimes people notice certain things about a video or have a certain take on it that I never would have thought. So it kind of opens my mind and gives me a different perspective. And then sometimes people are like, oh yeah, this part of it was so cool. Or like, this was so great. Like they'll give like a timestamp, like, like 5 minutes and 38 seconds, like was the best. And I'll go and I'll fucking look at what it was or listen back to what that was. And I'll be like, that wasn't good at all. Like, I don't think that's good. And I don't sit there and fucking reply back to him and go like, you're a fucking asshole. You're a fucking idiot. Like, I don't do that. The only comments I leave are positive comments which is also very rare. That's the only kind of comment I'll leave on anything though, whether it be on social media or YouTube or whatever. But yeah, man, I'll just look at that stuff to see what's inside other people's heads, and see what they notice that I don't notice. And then, to see if anybody notices certain things that I do too, or has certain takes on something. Cause I think that's important. I think it's important as I get older. I realize it's important to share perspective on stuff, but, or not share perspective, but gain knowledge from other people's perspectives, I think when I was younger, I used to just be like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like only me all the time. Like whatever my perspective is the answer. And now I'm more interested in like, what does the other side think? Let me hear what your perspective is. Let me hear what you have to say. I've been that way for a while, but it definitely did not happen till, I don't know, the last few years. I think it's when it's gotten more and more, when I've developed more of an interest in that, but yeah, man, it's interesting. And I think it's important to see where other people's heads are at, because otherwise you just kind of sticking your head in the sand, you're just kind of having tunnel vision, and I think that's a problem too, is that people get, surrounded in this bubble, with everybody that has similar beliefs as them. And then you start to accept that your way of thinking is the only reality, and anybody that does not think that way is a threat to you, or they are a problem, or they're trying to attack you. Like with all these, with all the people that get lumped in, either with like these political memes and all the people that get polarized to think a certain way and stuff, just by the stuff they scroll through on social media, which I was honestly really surprised. Well, I was and I wasn't, right? Because I could see how people could get manipulated by that. Me personally, I've never really been a big social media person like I am now, just because I have to a certain degree, like to promote like comedy stuff, now that that's a new thing that I'm involved in. And then music stuff, I've always needed to do it, and it's also cool to stay in touch with people, and people that are fans of what you do, they reach out and they give you positive comments, and they, and they want to engage with you and stuff, which is amazing. So I like doing that. I love the engagement. I love talking to people, that are, giving me positive energy about what I'm doing and stuff. And then I give them positive energy back. Like, that's cool. But I've never really been a big, let's pay attention to what everybody's doing on social media kind of person. So, I don't know, on a personal level, I've just never really understood, like if I never did music and I never did comedy or anything like that, and I was just a regular person, I would probably, I do that. I have like regular social media accounts, and what I do with them is I use them to engage on a very minimal level with family and like old friends that I either don't live near or that I just don't talk to anymore because we're both busy with life now. So I stay in touch with them, if I ever need to reach out, or, I want to see important updates on what, old friends I have are doing, or family members, that I have that don't live near me. You know what I mean? So that's what I use it for. It's very minimal, dude. I certainly don't look at it for any kind of news, and I never really have. I don't know why. I've been more of a face-to-face, like in real life person, which I know is weird in this day and age, or different, or not different, but it's I don't know, man. It's less desired now. Like, I was thinking about that. Me and my wife, we met in person when we first met, before we were dating, before anything like that. And I feel like that's going to become more and more rare as time goes on. It's going to become really rare that you met the person that you're married to, or the person you've been dating a long time, or the person you had children with, in real life. It's going to be more like, we met on a dating app. You know what I mean? Or we fucking had a Tinder date and we ended up hooking up and we had a baby and we just decided to stay together and build a family. That's happening a lot, you know what I mean? And I think that's going to become more and more normalized over time, So it's just kind of interesting, man. The level of things that are, normalized to not be in person, where like, if that happened to you, probably 10, but certainly 15, 20 years ago, that would have been very weird, or not weird, but just not in the norm, that you met somebody on online dating and an online dating site, and then you ended up like becoming, husband and wife or whatever. Like, I feel like that's definitely going to be more, it's going to become more normal, but it was rare back then, or it was kind of exceptional. But yeah, man, with, on the comedy note of things, just been, doing open mics and, just getting, I'm at the stage now where I have a really solid 5 minutes. Like, I can get up there and do a series of jokes that are funny. I'm not even saying that I think they're funny. I'm just saying people laugh. Like, I can tell people think they're funny, which is all that matters, And I've gotten to the point where I can do solid 5 with stuff just off the dome, off the top of my head, that I can just do straight through without even thinking about it. And it's consistently done well. I throw some new stuff that I tweak out on, that I tweak with in there. And that stuff works. So that's good. And just getting more comfortable up there, man. Getting more comfortable with that stuff. What I've been lazy about and what I need to improve on is I need to do more. I need to start experimenting more with new stuff. Like I see a lot of people that started right around the time I did, or maybe they've been doing it, a few months or a year or so longer than I have. And they're going off and trying a lot of new stuff and not being afraid to fail. Cause that's what I'm finding is tough now. Like I bombed a couple times in the beginning trying to figure out what jokes were good. But now I have jokes that I know have worked consistently, and I'm still trying new stuff a little bit in the middle, but I still am. I see these other people that they're just going full on with just trying to do new stuff the whole way through, like the whole stage time that they get at a given open mic. They're just throwing stuff out there. They're not caring. I don't know about not caring, but they're risking bombing. They are sometimes they're doing well. And, but they're working on new stuff the whole time they're up there, and they're not really worried. They don't appear at least to be worried about it, which is all that matters. I need to do more of that. But yeah, man, other than that, I can't complain because the stuff that I have is going well. I'm actually surprised. It's going a lot better, a lot faster than I thought it would. I thought I was going to have to bomb for a long time to, come up with stuff that was legitimately funny, but man, I got a 5-minute set now that once again, like I said, does well, and I'm gauging that off of how the audience reacts, you know what I mean? Which I think is the only way you can really gauge it at the end of the day. Like, so that's pretty cool. I was going to do a comedy competition actually, because I feel like I got a chance to be a contender now with the 5-minute set that I have. So I was going to do this comedy competition up in Oklahoma, way up there in Oklahoma, boy. I was going to drive up there, spend the night at a hotel the night before and go and do it, but it got canceled because of COVID. Surprise, surprise, with all the variants going around. So it didn't get canceled. It got postponed. So, who knows when it'll get rescheduled to, but hey, it is what it is, but yeah, I was bummed about not getting to do that because I was really pumped, man. I was rehearsing, that 5-minute set at the last several open mics I've been to the last couple weeks. I was getting ready for it. Cause like I said, once again, I think that I could really, be a contender with it. And it just because, I'm getting good feedback from the audiences I've performed in front of. And and the laughter, that I've received, so that's cool. That's interesting to think about how that would have gone, and how it will go whenever it gets rescheduled to. But yeah, man, I'm excited to continue what I've been developing, and hey, what will happen with that. But I definitely am. I feel like I need to test the little bit that I have already, and once again, in the grand scheme of things, I've been doing comedy for like no time at all, but I just feel that the material I have based on that feedback is I want to compete, man. I want to see how it measures up. And if I lose, or if I don't win, or I'm not one of the final contenders or whatever, so be it. That's fine. At least I get a gauge accurately on where I'm at to see if it measures up as much as I think it does, and that's it. I just want to see how that stuff measures up, because I'm more, I don't know, man. I feel like I have a pretty good gauge on self-criticism, like I know when I've bombed so far, and like I by no means am in denial when I have something, when I come up with an idea, whether it be like music or comedy or whatever, any kind of creative idea that I think is not good, I really don't care. Like if it's not good, it's not good. You know what I mean? Like you can tell me something's not good and I really take no offense, but I also think it's subjective, man. Cause I was talking to this other comic about this, and they're like, you can, I don't know. We had a difference of opinion because they place a lot of value on, like if other comedians think their jokes are funny or not, which I don't place a lot of value. Like, to be clear, if you're my friend, like if you're another comic or whatever, I don't even call myself a comic. I'm more of a comic on probation kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because I'm so brand new at it. So I don't even feel comfortable calling myself that. But other comics, that I do talk to, they place a lot of importance on what other comedians think about, like if their stuff's funny or not. And I don't, man. And now, if you're a friend of mine, which is what I was trying to say before, if you're a friend of mine and you're giving me feedback, or I ask you to what you think about some kind of joke that I'm working on when I'm on stage, obviously, yeah, I value your opinion. I value certain comedians' opinions that I'm friends with, but I'm not really relying on the reaction of a crowd of comedians, if that's all I'm performing for, to decide if something's funny. Because at the end of the day, that's not who I'm ultimately trying to sell tickets to. I'm trying to sell tickets to just normal audience members that are there to see comedy. And when you perform for regular people, quote unquote, it's very different than when you're performing for comedians. Because comedians aren't thinking about things like a normal person. They're thinking about it like how they would tell the joke if it was them, or like what they're taking. And I do this too. Or I'm in my head the whole time and I'm not even paying attention to what you're saying, really, because I'm worried about thinking about what I'm going to say. And, that's why I'm just kind of like, I don't really place a lot of importance on what other comedians think or how they respond to what I'm performing, when I'm on stage telling jokes. But blah, 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 whatever, to each his own. But yeah, I like to rely on the regular audience, reaction to gauge, what I'm doing and what it's like, or how good it is or how not good it is. But yeah, man. What else is going on, man? What else did I want to talk about? We finished, we've 90% finished the Halloween song that we got coming out with for We Are the Flesh for Halloween. So that's cool. So that's going to be coming down the pipe pretty soon. And what the hell else, dude? There was something else that I was going to fucking tell everybody about. And I don't fucking know. I don't know. But yeah, man, I hope everything is going well with everybody out there. Hope everybody's staying safe, I don't know. It's different here, man. Cause in California, where I moved from a few months ago, I talked to all my close friends out there, and it's so funny because when you don't wear a mask in Los Angeles, everybody yells at you that you should be wearing a mask. And then in Texas over here, some people wear masks, but no one gives them shit about wearing a mask. But if you don't wear a mask, no one's saying anything here. People just don't really say anything at all here, which is cool, which I like a lot. I think that's the way to be. Just kind of let people decide what they want to do, man. If you want to wear a mask and you're afraid about the variant and you're skeptical about the vaccine and that's your choice, hey, man, it is what it is. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. I am lazy, so I try to fucking get away with wearing a mask or putting it on wherever I can. Obviously, if I go into a store and they come up to me and they're like, hey, we really want everybody to wear masks. This comes in. I'm not going to make a scene and argue with them and disagree. I'll go back out to my truck and wear a fucking mask. But no one's said that to me so far, and I don't know. I've heard of some places that really want you to wear a mask and they put signs up. I haven't seen, no one's come up to me yet and said do it. So, which I'm thankful for. But yeah, man, I don't know. We'll see what happens, dude. I just really hope nothing closes down again, or if some stuff's closed down again, I hope everything's not closed, and I hope no more comedy competitions get canceled, man, because I really want to try my stuff out, in front of a crowd. But I'm going to have guests back starting next week. I just wanted to check in with everybody and let you know I'm still here every Tuesday bringing you episodes. And yeah, man, everything's going to get updated. Everything's going to get a lot more streamlined very soon, I promise. And I thank everybody for listening. But yeah, I will be back next week and I will have a guest for you, and we're going to get back on this podcast train. So once again, keep listening, keep helping me build Crux Nation. Crux, yeah.
Let me hear you say Crux, yeah. Crux, yeah. Let me hear you say Crux, yeah. Crux, yeah.
Crux, yeah podcast.
Crux Crawford.
You a clout chasing, faking ass industry dick swallower. I can give a fuck about you and your fake followers.